Good morning, good morning, good morning. So this topic came up like several different times yesterday. So I feel like I want to really want to address it. Underlying emotions versus surface emotions. So there's a difference between having underlying emotions and having surface emotions. Sometime when you're feeling uneasy or you're feeling disconnected with self, a lot of the time we sometimes subconsciously try to convince ourselves that our internal feeling and our external feeling are one. And that's not always the case. Sometimes we are subconsciously not being honest with ourselves, and we can be dishonest with people and friends and family and all of that stuff, but we can't be dishonest with ourselves because your spirit and your soul knows what it is, right? When you're feeling these emotions, moods, sadness, all of these things, and you're like, I just can't put my finger on it, I just don't know what it is, you need to dig deeper. So I've seen people feel like they're internally diseased, but externally, but they're like, no, I don't understand. It's not my relationship. It's not this. It's not that because everything is going so well. You know, like my job is good. This is good in my life. This is good in my life. But how are you feeling internally? Do you think that there are still underlying emotions that you haven't really addressed that keeps popping up? Maybe there are triggers that happen throughout your week that have brought about feelings of dis-ease. Be very cognizant of your internal emotions versus your external emotions. Sometimes we're not being real to ourselves when it comes to the people in our lives. And it's not about pretending, because I want to be really careful with that, right? It's not about pretending, but it's only you know how good you're feeling within the people in your life, in the space, and the relationships and stuff like that. But when you are not addressing it, or you are saying, well, these things are not good, but these things are better, it's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. I've heard so many times people say, oh, well, you know, but he loves you or she loves you. But what about the love that you need, right? There's a difference between someone loving you and offering the cup of love that you need. That's so important to know. Accepting just love because the person is saying that they love you and they tell you that they love you doesn't mean that that's the love that you need for you. And sometimes people stay and they stick around because they deem that as acceptable, but it's not acceptable. It's not. I've walked away from love before, right? Because it wasn't the love that I know I deserve. And so when you're not getting the love that you deserve, then that's the time to really dig into your own self-love. Because how you feel about you is what you ultimately attract. So be very conscious of what you're feeling internally versus what you're feeling externally, because sometimes there are two different things going on. And the only person who knows what's really going on is yourself. Stop being fearful of losing people because of whatever reason, right? Follow your internal feeling. Pay attention to your moods. Pay attention to the way that you feel. Something is off and it needs to be addressed.